Hi everyone, it's Jen again, here to share with you yet another one of the many stories that I have in my parenting journey with my kids. Quite a few years ago, we lived in a really old house. As if you saw last week's post, you would have heard me talking about the century home that we lived in, or the big old farmhouse. And the farmhouse happened to be situated on a really busy road in Norfolk County, like one of the busiest roads in Norfolk County. In fact, it was a main road in and out of Norfolk County itself. And there was a lot of traffic, and the traffic would go really fast, and there were lots of big trucks that would just go barreling down. It would kind of like even make the house rock. Now our house was set back from the road well enough so that I didn't have to worry. We had a really big yard that the dog and the kids could run around in, but still the road was really busy. And I was one of those parents, and still am, that I care about the safety of my children, of course, like we all do. And I had this firm rule that you don't go across the road without mom, okay? And even if you're 14 or 4, you didn't go across the road without me, because it was that busy. Like, there really weren't a lot of breaks in traffic on that road, and honestly the trucks would barrel down there at like 110 kilometers an hour. So no, there was no way I was letting anybody across the road. And what happened to be across the road but the mailbox, of course, go figure. So in order to get the mail, you had to cross with mom across the road to get the mail. One day I had gone out, and I think I'd only gone out for like 20 minutes to grab something from the store and get back home. And I got back home, and Cam came running up to me with, what else? The mail. And my heart stopped, because instantly I assumed he had gone across the road without my permission and without me to go and get the mail. My daughter, who was in charge of Cam while I was gone for those 20 minutes, because she was old enough, she's about 5 years older than he is, she comes running up, she's like, Mom, he got the mail. So there I go, I've got all these stress hormones running through my body, and the amygdala is firing off all of these things, and I want to react, and I want to get really upset, and I want to show him how disappointed and angry I am that he would cross the road without my permission, without me going with him, and how dangerous that was, and he could have got hurt. And see, when we're afraid like that, I'm afraid of him getting hurt. When we're afraid, sometimes we overreact and we get angry, because anger is like this huge bodyguard of all these other emotions. And when I'm afraid, sometimes I get angry, and I was ready to yell and freak out. And my parenting skills were kind of lacking, because I was starting to lose it a little bit. But in those moments, and I've had lots of practice doing this, I took a deep breath, because I needed to get to the bottom of this. I needed to figure out how to get the mail. I took the breath, and I was like, Cam, you have the mail in your hand. But how did you get the mail if we can't cross the road? And he was like, don't worry, Mommy, I didn't cross the road. I didn't. And part of me was like, oh my God, now he's lying to me. Like, what kind of person am I raising? He goes, no, Mommy, I didn't go across the road. I went under the road. Now that took me aback a little bit, because I was like, under the road? What the beep are you talking about? And sure enough, right beside our property, because we live in the country, remember, there's a culvert. And the culvert is like this great big round pipe that goes under the road from the cornfield on my side of the road to the cornfield on the other side of the road. And the culvert in this situation is tall enough for me to walk through it. So he didn't go over the road. He went under the road. He went down through the little cornfield, underneath the road, up on the other side of the road, got the mail, came back down, went under the culvert, and came back up to the house with the mail in his hand. So I couldn't get mad at him, because technically he didn't go on the road. He listened to me. And he wasn't lying, because he didn't go over the road at all. In fact, he went under the road. And I hadn't thought to use that as a rule as well. I had never thought to say, don't go under the road. Who thinks of those things? But I tell you, I was pretty impressed with the creativity, the resourcefulness, and the problem-solving skills that he would have used to be able to come up with the answer of how he can get the mail. He was driven and motivated to get that mail. And he figured a way of being able to do it that was safe and that was still respecting my rule. And he was able to pull it off. I was so impressed. And I couldn't punish him. I mean, that's awesome. My long-term goals for my kids are, be a good problem solver, be creative, be resourceful, because the world we live in, you're going to need to be those things, right? All those wonderful things that I want them to be as adults. So I can't punish him when he's showing all of those wonderful things that I would like him to be as an adult. He went under the road, not over the road. Very creative. Well, that's one of the many stories that I have, and hopefully I get to share some more with you, and hopefully you were able to learn something out of that too. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Take care. Bye.